A wolf burst through the hospital entrance. His powerful prestige was sending shockwaves through the halls. The sight of the ferocious creature caused panic and confusion among the staff and the nurses. The nurses scattered, seeking shelter from the majestic form of the wolf. Among them was a young nurse named Emily. With wide eyes and trembling hands, she watched the wolf wander around the hospital. However, Emily noticed something unusual. The wolf was carrying something in its mouth. Emily tried to calm everyone down as she noticed that the wolf was carrying something. It looked like a small creature, but it wasn't a wolf. Hospital security immediately began evacuating the hospital. They couldn't risk anyone getting hurt by the wolf. Emily decided to take the matter into her own hands. This was her only chance to make a real difference. Emily managed to lock the wolf and the little creature into a room. Then suddenly the wolf became very aggressive. He tried to jump towards Emily. Emily tries to make herself small to let the wolf know that she is here to help him. She knows that the wolf desperately needs her help. Emily was lucky. The wolf seems to calm down. Emily then decided to seek help from a willing doctor. But all the doctors seem very reluctant to help Emily. She begged them to just follow her. They tell her that the animal control was called to remove the wolf from the hospital. Finally, she finds a close friend and a skilled surgeon ready to go with her and see what happens. As they approach the room, they hear howling. The wolf seemed to be very concerned about the little creature's well-being. It appears to be a strong connection between the creature and the wolf. Emily tries to get closer, but the wolf shows his teeth immediately. Emily quickly realized that it won't be easy. She doesn't know what to do, but she didn't give up. By some miracle, the wolf lets her get closer. Emily doesn't know what to do. She has no idea what this creature could be, but he seems very, very weak. Emily thinks they need to bring an animal expert, better to be a vet, but the closest one is a long way away. Emily was able to call the vet immediately. When she explains the situation to him, the doctor thinks for several seconds. Emily sensed that something was deeply wrong. The vet asks her to describe the creature. He has no idea what it is. How can he help? But he realized that his condition is getting worse. Suddenly, the wolf starts howling again, as if he realized something was wrong. Emily realized that there is something more. The wolf suddenly looks very nervous. Then some police officers pressed into the room to check if everyone is fine. Emily tells them to back off. Then the wolf does something unexpected. He walks towards the door. It seems like he wants Emily to follow him. She has no idea what's going on, but a sense of urgency fills the air. Emily can't ignore the wolf. She follows the wolf outside. He seems to be heading towards the forest. She contacts an animal expert from the local animal sanctuary to tell him where she was going. He argues her not to follow the wolf blindly. Emily starts hesitating. She started to share her live location with David. She can't wait for him to arrive. She decides to enter the forest and to follow the wolf. The deeper into the forest, the more she feels worried. She feels like she is being watched. Emily is so tensed and almost gives up. Suddenly she hears a loud noise. Then she realizes that she is receiving a call from someone. She picks up the phone, but she barely has a signal. She hears the vet on the other side stutter. It seems mysterious, as if he was urging her to come back. The wolf stared in despair. Emily started doubting her decision. Should she head towards the noise, or should she decide to back down now? Emily decides to gather all her courage to continue following the voices. She feels close. She feels a shiver run down her back. This time she's sure that there is someone close to her. She definitely knows someone is watching her now. Then she turns pale when she hears a voice in the distance shouting at her. Emily doesn't recognize the voice, but when she looks up, she realizes that it is David, who, with good luck, has managed to catch up with her. The wolf doesn't know who David is and starts heading towards him quickly. Emily realizes what is happening and threw herself between the wolf and David. Just before impact, the wolf stops. Emily breathes in relief. The wolf seems to realize that David is here to help. He turns his head again and points out that Emily and David should keep walking now. David was so shocked by the sudden attack that he fell to the ground and asked Emily what exactly was going on. Emily tells him that she has no idea how serious the situation is or what they are after. David follows Emily closely. The sounds got louder with every step they took toward it. Finally, they reach the source of the sound. They realize that it comes from the bottom of an ancient well, that something maybe have fallen into the well. The wolf indicates that this is the place. Inside the well is so dark that they can't see anything. Yet they definitely know there is something there. They hear it very well. Fortunately for them, David had brought some rope with him. David was telling Emily that the rope was strong enough to hold him while he climbing down. Emily was hesitant. This could go very wrong. She felt like she was not strong enough. David takes a deep breath and lets himself go over the edge, and while Emily holds the rope tightly, David climbs down. Emily then panics as the rope slides away from her. The rope was not tied well around her waist. Suddenly she hears David screaming loudly. He picks up the phone and activates the flash, then finally realizing what was making the noise. David turned the light towards the sounds, and he sees more of these little animals. He shouts to Emily about what he sees. She realizes that the one who was in the hospital was not the only one. After about 15 minutes, David was able to bring all the animals to the surface. They were now looking at a total of 5 animals. They had to get them safely to the hospital. David and Emily can only carry 2 each and still leave one. However, he realized that the wolf could carry 1 as well. They pick up the animals and start running. When they arrived at the hospital, they told to hand over the animals. They cannot enter the room under any circumstances. After a while, the vet opened the door and invited them in, telling them they had arrived just in time and they were able to save the animals. Emily goes to the vet and asks for an explanation. It seems that these animals are a hybrid between a wild dog and a wolf. It's not possible to determine how they ended up in the well, but these puppies are very rare. Emily was completely against releasing them into the wild. They need to go somewhere safe. Fortunately, David works at the local animal sanctuary that they still have a place for these animals. Emily visited the wolf and the puppies regularly now, and the puppies even get to know her and David. She gets so much love from them. She is happy that she made the decision to face her fears and follow the wolf into the forest that day to save the animals.